Hello, it is Editing Rose. So we recorded this like 2 weeks before you're listening to it. September 16th, I think. It was a long time ago. Since then, the writer strike has ended. Uh, Hilariously, I did make a joke about which would come first, the end of the strike or Stingray getting the next volume of Tokyo Ghoul from the library. And I think it was like the next day after they got Tokyo Ghoul is when the strike ended. That being said, we're going to continue the A24 theme for the three movies for this month because the actor strike is still happening. Cough, cough. Uh, and support and whatnot. So, yeah, that's all editing me has to say in the very beginning. So, yeah, uh, good times. This was a great movie. So, thanks, A24. My back feels like I cleaned a pool the other day. Imagine that. I love how much there's like already like half as many leaves on the bottom of the pool. And I just cleaned that thing. So happy.
Do you even use the pool?
I don't know because I don't like swimming.
Then why the fuck do you have to clean it?
Bessie, this is not the type of place to ask questions that have valid reasoning to them.
You mean it's not a time and place for your mother to be stupid as fuck?
Bestie, why is CoStar telling me that you want to spontaneously shave your head today?
I kind of do.
Oh, God.
I mean, I technically kind of halfway did because my mom did reshave my hair the other day. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, just do all of it. She's like, let me shave your head. I'm like, okay, just do all of it. And she didn't even laugh. Can you believe that?
Alright. Sorry, I'm doing a thing. Someone commented on today's Instagram reel.
Yeah, and it wasn't me. So
no, some random person like started watching them all and then liked them all and then followed me and now likes every single time I post one. I don't know who this person is. It's just a
dedication
random person.
For real.
Yeah,
They're
it's
so real.
literally the only person other than you that likes all of them.
That's so sad.
I love it when randomly someone from like college or high school sees one and likes it, and I'm like, oh, why? Yeah, no, they just commented on it with like a book recommendation.
I'm sorry. CoStar says, do smoothies, frolicking, and nudity. Don't. Repetition, nostalgia, video games.
Ready for mine? Mine's do sparking the flit. Passion. Listen, I have passion for the things we'll be talking about today. And butterflies. Don't turbulent radioactive on a limb. So I should not be bitten on my arm by a radioactive spider on a plane.
And then turn into Spider-Man? Question mark?
Yeah, that's kind of the moral of the story. Anyway, someone said, commented.
You can't be Spider-Man? That's so sad.
I know, right?
I can be Spider-Man, though. They didn't say anything about me not being able to be Spider-Man.
Be that Spider-Man, bestie. I love how my two best friends, who are both not superhero people, the superhero films they have seen are Spider-Man. Like, what the hell?
Because Spider-Man is actually good.
It's true. Anyways, because of me posting daily of what I read, I'm now getting book recommendations based off of what I read, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go for it.
Highly compatible today, Rosalyn. You and Rosalyn are a decrepit barn where cicadas scream in the rafters, filling the air with their dissonant song.
Yeah, I get that one a lot, yeah.
I've never gotten that one before.
I get it a few times. I don't know if you know this, but we're compatible, according to CoStar, like 5 times.
We are very compatible. What the fuck? Apparently CoStar thinks we are very compatible. Like, very, very compatible. Who would have thought?
Bestie, we're compatible. Do you think we should start a podcast together?
I don't know.
Starts a whole
I don't know, bestie. Literally?
Starts a whole different podcast.
We only have one. Okay, you know how, like, CoStar, mixes, like, labels the compatibilities as, like, smiley face, meh, and then frowny face? We only have one frowny face. And it's, quote, love and pleasure.
It's because I sometimes like men, and it's that's why. Uh, yeah, I see that.
Sorry, not the sex and aggression and kind of compatibility. I have to giggle. But love and pleasure isn't. I have to
Yes.
giggle. Like that's funny to me. I don't know.
Senses of responsibility. Hell yeah. Moods and emotions, intellect and communication, philosophies of life. Yeah, the only thing we really suck at is love and pleasure. I think it's because our love languages or something. Maybe that has to do with it, or maybe it's because I just like men occasionally. Rarely, like every once in a while, I'll just see a picture of Henry Cavill and I'll go Google brain, and I think that's
I'm
why.
sorry. Challenges, poor communication, and dark jokes. Hello?
Literally the Heartstopper episode. I
Those
made dead man
are
jokes.
no, that's harmony, bitch. That goes under harmony because there's harmony in challenges. No, that goes under harmony, bitch. I don't know what the fuck you think this is. Harmony, renewed authority, shared spirit of inquiry, unexpected chemistry, mutual vulnerability.
Oh no, co-star police. Oh my god. I'm keeping
It's
all
almost
this in for the intro.
it's almost like we're friends or something.
Oh my god. That's so funny. I gotta drink my coffee. That's so
I'm
funny.
sorry, power. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm reading your shit now. It doesn't matter.
I'm very
Never mind. We're
bullheaded,
good.
very stubborn,
Yes, I know. I literally
and willing to fight anyone.
we need to be serious. Come on, let's go.
I don't remember if Bestie is a Libra or a Scorpio. I know her birthday's in October. I don't remember. I think she's a Libra.
Mm.
Okay, anyways, you ready to talk about this movie that I forced you to watch yesterday? Remember when all our jokes about me not being able to pick books, only rarely being able to pick good books, but apparently I can pick the movies.
Yes, you can.
Because, what did I make us watch?
Is this the first? What's the first episode for October?
This one.
Okay. Happy Halloween, besties! Hi, hello!
I think this goes up the second, so.
Happy Halloween, bitch! What the fuck?
I always spit out my coffee. It is Halloween vibes today. It's very windy, the leaves
Well,
are
the Winter
falling.
King's coming, and my birthday party's tomorrow, and yeah, so therefore it's Halloween already. It's September. It's Halloween, bitch. I don't care.
It's the third that it goes up. I have to remember, so on the calendar thing, I still have like all the ones we were supposed to do, but because the strikes
Yes.
are different. And I have them in the notes of like what they're actually gonna be. But like they say like Haunting of Hill House when it should be.
Yeah, I know. That's how I have mine written down too. Wait, are we like a quarter way done with the October episodes already?
Other than Hyde, yes.
Because this is like the third or fourth one we're recording, right?
Yeah, it goes this one, then Flower Bride, then Curse Bride, and then Hyde.
Oh hell yeah, we're doing great, bestie.
And then after Hyde is the ScarJo movie. I moved things around because it was gonna be Life Ceremony after that, but I'm pretty sure that's a short story collection, and it came from the Causes of Short Story collection. So I decided to make them instead of like the Friday and then the next Tuesday, to make them Tuesday, Friday of the same week. So
I need to read more for next month. That's what I wanted to do.
They got moved up, and then it came from Closet and Life Ceremony, and then the Ex Machina, and then it's suddenly November, and it's Katie Robert again.
Boo.
Don't boo Katie
Respectfully.
Robert. I just learned that she is coming out with a I think it's the first book for the second gen of the Carver City book, so the Wiccan Villain series. And it's read.
Listen, we're never gonna run out of material for this podcast because Katie Robert.
Yeah.
Just Katie Robert.
Yeah. So like it's Red Riding Hood, right? Where The wolf.
That should be fun.
The wolf is her stalker. It's a stalker romance.
Oh, okay. That makes
Literally,
sense.
she went. So like, I signed up for her.
What if I
newsletter.
read it?
I signed up for her newsletter, and it also Ruby, who is Red Riding Hood, is the daughter of Isabel, Gaeton, and Beast.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Second gen.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
What if I read this one?
It's not coming out until next year, but okay.
Oh my god.
But
I'll forget about it by then, but you'll talk about it again. I'll be like, oh.
Oh yeah, obviously, because I signed up for a newsletter, so I get information about all her books ahead of schedule and whatnot.
See, this is not the point of this episode.
I know, but like, too bad. I'm here now. So, because she was like, I never thought I was gonna write.
You better cut all this shit out because there's a potential that people will actually listen to this episode.
No. She's like, I never wanted to write a stalker romance because as someone who went through stalking, that's not romantic. And then she read 2 stalker romances from authors one from an author she trusts. And she liked it, and so then she read Haunting Ireland, which is like kind of the really popular one.
Yeah.
Due to TikTok, and then she was like, hot take. And now
that's valid. It's okay to change your mind.
And now she's like, you know what? I like it if it's by an author who does it well. And so she wrote her own, and I'm here for it. I'm excited.
You can change your mind as a person.
Yeah. Also, I also like completely valid not liking a certain kind of aspect in a romance genre or smut genre, unless if you find an author who does it really well, that doesn't make it triggering for you. Like, valid. But like now, because of that news in the newsletter, I found another stalker romance to read. I gotta read the other one as well on top of Haunting Adeline at some point for this podcast. Don't worry. One day. I'm psychotic.
We haven't even done our intros yet.
I'm gonna do it. We're doing it right now. Hello, welcome to the Fish and Flower podcast. I'm Flower, aka Rose. I feel like I should do a Halloween type one, but I don't know what to do. So I'd like everyone to know that right now my life is giving very Gilmore Girls, Stars Hollow vibes. You know, just the fall vibes of that is what is happening at my house right now, and I love that. And
I've never seen any of those things.
I hate that for you. I kind of want to rewatch the show, but like, I also don't want to, like, the first season, 2 seasons, Rory, great. After that, can I please not? Like, can she please be so serious? Thank you. But I do love Lorelai and Luke. Oh god, Luke. Just Luke. Okay, your turn.
My name is Fish, aka Stingray, and God, what's a fact?
I don't know. I can give you a fun fact about.
Oh, I got one, and it is Halloween themed. Okay, one time I was asleep in my mom's room. Right. I was a small child, like a very small child. I don't remember this, but my mom talks about it all the time. And apparently The Exorcist was on TV, and then she comes back in my room, and then I asked her, "Hey, Mom, why can't my head spin around like that?"
That is something you do. That is you coded.
And it's Halloween themed, but it also deals with Exorcist, which is possession, which is also what this is about. See, it's full circle.
Yes.
Are you proud of me?
Yes. This is very much a Stream of Conscious podcast, but you couldn't tell from us recording for 14 minutes already.
This is your fault. You're the one speaking all this shit. I didn't do a damn thing.
I have the energy today. I didn't have it yesterday.
I didn't have any coffee today, but I wanted to make coffee, so.
I'm on my second cup, already.
Yeah, I can tell.
And it just hit, dude. Very similar to how we talk to each other on a daily basis. On today's episode, we have the A24 film, cause strike. Talk to me. Okay, I feel like I should mention where I learned about this movie first, which is from Amanda the Jedi. That's why I think it did the film festival circuit. I don't 100% know, because it's like recently coming to like the general audience circuit, and I know she does a lot of film festival stuff. So she watched it and really liked it during those, and then I assume, and then since it became out more of a public audience type movie recently, because technically it came out in 2022, but like. It didn't become popular in like the past month because it hasn't reached public audiences until like the past month.
so she made a video on it, and she was talking about possession, allegory for drug addiction and grief, and I went, oh, that's so Stingray and I. So I put it down
It
as
very is.
yeah. So I put it down as a possible if we couldn't do the films and shows we wanted to do for October due to the strike. Um, and then we watched it yesterday. Bitch, I can pick movies. I can't pick books, but I can pick movies.
I feel like we should mention the ones we did have planned for October we're still gonna do eventually.
I'm still, yes, I'm gonna still force
At this rate, it'll probably be next fucking October.
True. But, like, you think I'm not gonna do an episode on my favorite movie of all time, Arrival, and then also, like, of course...
With that beautiful YouTube graphic I made, yes.
Yeah? Oh my god. The way that you have to make 3 new YouTube graphics just for these 3 episodes.
Oh, damn it. You didn't remind me.
Yeah, so, I'll remind you. But, yeah. Also, like, the way Stingray and I aren't gonna watch Hell House and Bly Manor together anyways, like... We might as well
Pause. Why am I complaining about having to why am I complaining about having to do work? I mean, yes, I did do all my work throughout to, like, January already, so, like, why am I fucking complaining? Anyways.
But yeah, this is, obviously spoilers for the movie. We got a lot of blood and gore,
Yummy.
Suicide,
Yummy.
grief, murder, stabbing.
Yummy.
Eyeball stuff.
Yummy.
Making out with a dog.
Not yummy. Not yummy.
Possession, allegory for...
Yummy.
Also, like, maybe just a hint of racism.
You forgot the toe sucking.
Oh, yeah, the toe sucking, grief.
Not yummy.
Ghosts. I would also recommend go watch it because, like, I'm not going to be able to
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to explain really the just atmosphere of this movie. And always,
it's amazing. I love atmosphere. Like,
no
atmosphere is such a big thing.
Scene you're watching in this movie, there is always something happening in the background, the sound. And
I'm so pissed off because we watched this together on Discord, and so I couldn't hear a lot of what was happening, and I just knew from the moment it started the sound design was going to be a big thing, and I've been a nerd about sound since I got so into ASMR, so I've become even more of a sound nerd. And I was so pissed off that I couldn't hear half the shit you were talking about or half the shit they were saying, and I was just like, you know?
Yeah. Also, I'd like everyone to know that, we got 3 main players, kind of 4. We got, Mia's the main character. This does take place in Australia, so they all have accents.
And the question is, are they dressing like this because they're Australian, or are all half these bitches gay?
Yeah, right. There's, like, kind of, the background is, like, basically her mom died 2 years ago. This movie starts on, like, the 2-year anniversary of her mother's death.
It does not start there. It starts with a very dramatic extra thing.
I'll talk about that, yeah. About Ducket. But...
What the fuck kind of name is Ducket? Like, I'm so sorry, but...
is staying, basically, with a family friend, since her mom's died, because she has a strange relationship with her father. She's kind of close with the daughter, Jade. We hate Jade in this house.
Boo, Jade, for real.
Jade is kind of the worst. And then there's Riley, Jade's younger brother. Mia,
we love Riley.
Mia is more of a sister to Riley.
Poor Riley.
Like, honestly, poor Riley.
I knew something bad was going to happen to that kid the moment he was introduced. I'm fine, it's fine.
There is Jade and Riley's mother, who is played by an actress who's in Lord of the Rings. I found that really funny. That took me a minute to figure out, but I found that really funny. Sue. And then there is Daniel / David. His actual name in the movie is Daniel, but I thought it was David, and so, like, halfway through the movie, I was like, David, and Singer was like, Daniel, and then we were like, wait a second.
Like, I could not hear half of what was going on, yet I knew his actual fucking name. Like, hello?
I know, and I hate that for me. Daniel is the Christian good boy, boyfriend to Jade, but also happens to be Mia's ex. And that is kind of the background of the characters. Now, the movie starts 3 minutes in, after 2 minutes of logos. 2 of those 3 minutes have just been logos. So there's this guy going through this party, and trying to find this other guy named Ducket. And he eventually finds him. Duckett has a bunch of like scars on his back and his arms, and he like puts a shirt over him and he goes to take him out of the house and whatnot. He looks like kind of high or something, like something's going on. And all these other kids at this party start recording his brother, or spoiler, it's his brother. Not really a spoiler. But start like recording him, and so this guy who like seems like a really good guy is like, because like he went through this process to find his brother, and is like trying to get him out of there, get him safe. Meanwhile, all these people are recording this horrible situation, and so he's like yelling at people to stop recording and be decent human beings. And then all of a sudden, like he's like the camera moves so like it's focused on him, and the next thing you see is Duckett come in with a knife and stab him. And then sound goes out, and Duckett walks outside and stabs himself in the eyeball as everyone's running away screaming. And that's how the movie starts.
And I have two things to say. One, I need everyone to know I was eating popcorn at this point, and I just stopped like mid shovel. It's like, secondly, that's how you start a fucking movie.
I was eating ice cream at that point, and I had to put down my spoon. I was like, oh my god.
We literally had to pause the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything about this movie, and then that just happened. I was like, what the fuck? God damn. I just kept saying, this is how you start a movie, because truly, this is how you start a fucking movie.
Honestly, yeah. Then it cuts to, what I think is like a anniversary celebration of life type thing for Mia's mother, and whatnot. And afterwards, she goes and picks up Riley, who's like smoking with his friend on the side of the street, and whatnot. Well, Riley, his friend tries to peer pressure him into smoking, and he says no. And
hell yeah, Riley.
And he stands up for his grounds on that. So Mia shows up, picks him up, offers to drive.
Because his sister forgot to.
Yeah. Offers.
Because she's a terrible fucking person.
I'm getting there. So she also offers to drive this other kid home, but he's like, nah, my mom will be here. And she's like, okay, well, like, in case your mom doesn't get here, like, just call Riley and I'll come get you. Like, clearly just being a good person. On the way to Riley's place, there's a dying kangaroo in the middle of the road. And Riley's like, we have to put it out of its misery. And it's, Mia backs up and, like, goes to gun it, like, she's gonna run over this kangaroo to take it out of its misery, but decides against it and just goes run.
If they would have ran it over, I would have had to leave the room for a moment.
Yeah. Then they return to Riley's house. He's clearly very pissed at his sister because, she didn't pick him up. He was, like, waiting for a very long time. He kept on calling her, but she had him on mute. Because she was waiting on a phone call from her boyfriend. And so, yeah, so that happens. Mia tries to have a conversation with Jade, about the kangaroo and just sledge stuff. Also, like, Jade is just like, oh, wait, today was your mother's 2-year anniversary? And she's like, yeah.
And then she continues to be annoying and ignore her friend and her brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, her, like, Riley is doing homework at the kitchen table type thing, and, like, goes to help him, and then, you know, being this big sister that his own sister isn't being, meanwhile, Jade is too busy on the phone with Daniel, and whatnot. And then, Sue comes home with groceries and whatnot, and, complains that, like, Riley didn't help her bring the groceries, but Mia goes and, like, helps put them away, and she instantly hugs her and is like, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I was stuck at work, but, like, how you doing, sweetheart? How's your dad? Was it awkward? And she's like, yeah, it's hard being around him, and, like, gives her a hug. Also, like, there's a whole thing where, like, during the first few scenes, Mia is, like, sneezing a lot, like she has a cold, and coughing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just disappears, cough. So, yeah, Sue's, like, worried about her, whatnot, and, yeah. So, also, there's, like, this thing where Jade keeps on seeing, like, recordings that friends keep on sending in, like, group chats and whatnot, of people trying out this, like, kind of new drug, but, like, is it a drug, what is happening, type thing, and Mia wants to go and check it out. So she gets Jade to agree to go with her, being all like, well, it's the anniversary of my mother's death, and you didn't even remember, right? So they sneak out, but also Riley sneaks out with them. So they all go to this party, where like, Haley, who's one of the 2 people in charge of this hand, the hand, it's a mummified hand, basically, is like talks about how Mia is annoying and goody two shoes and doesn't do anything. She's like super soft. She doesn't do any drugs or anything.
Hear
Like
me
all
out
stuff.
though. Everybody in this movie is fucking annoying.
Yes, everyone sucks in this movie. The only one who does it is Riley. Occasionally Mia,
Real.
but mostly Riley. Riley's the only good character.
Uh-huh.
So
Because he's a literal child, yeah.
yeah. So they pull out the hand and they're like, okay, who's gonna do it on all this stuff? And Mia instantly volunteers. Okay. So the rules are basically, the first thing you do is light a candle, and afterwards you have to blow out the candle to close the door, right? You can't hold onto the hand for more than 90 seconds once the possession starts. Sorry, no, it's possession. So you can't hold for more than 90 seconds, or they'll try to stay with you. That's important. So basically, you hold the hand, say, "Talk to me," and then you can then see the ghost. But then afterwards, you have to say, "I let you in," and that's when you're possessed, and that's when like their pupils get super dilated, and then that's when like the whole drug effect type happens.
I need to mention that the actress who plays Mia has really big eyes, and obviously they put in black contacts for them to have like the possession eyes, and like because their eyes are so big, and then the scleras, like it very much uncomfortable.
Yeah. So like part of it's like you're strapped down to the chair and whatnot. That's like a thing. That's part of the rules also. So Mia sees a drowned ghost. I'm just gonna call drowned lady. Uh, so yeah, she freaks out instantly. She's like, okay, that's disgusting. So she eventually does say, I let you in. They start the timer. Basically, drowned lady possessing Mia says that she wants to cut open Riley, and then start saying, just chanting, run, 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 run. Yeah, that for like a good bit, while all the like the flickering doors are slamming open and close and whatnot. And then the guy who like straps you down is also the guy because like he's the big muscle to like take the hand out of your hand to close the connection, right? Once the time has reached. So he goes to do that because the time's reached, but the ghost won't let go and ends up like slamming her against the wall, and it breaks a window, dragging the chair around a little bit before they eventually get the hand out of her hand, and then they blow out the candle. This is important because cough cough, things happen. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, because it's like very evident that something's going on, because like the doors slamming on their own, the lights flickering, like I think the house also shades and stuff. The only person who's not believing this is actually happening is Jade. Jade's just sitting there, just like, I fucking hate it here. This is all fake.
Like if you see a door slamming and a chair move on its own and a window break and no one's doing anything, you can visibly see where everyone's at. What the fuck else are you gonna think? Like if you don't hello?
Yeah. So later that night, Riley is freaked out by a ghost literally threatening to cut him open. So goes to Jade's room. But she literally is like, "You're not a baby anymore. Get the fuck out." All this stuff. And then yells at him and calls him a bitch for like leaving her bedroom door open and all this stuff. When he leaves, so instead he goes to the living room, which is where Mia sleeps. And she's like, she instantly moves over and like lets him stay with him and whatnot. You just more further proof that Mia's the real family here. So we learned
I'm
that,
so fine.
Yeah.
Like what happens and then
So they talked a little bit. Riley's never had really nightmares before. Mia has this running nightmare where she looks in a mirror and doesn't see her reflection. There's nothing there. That's important for the end. And then he asked how her mother actually died because like he knows bits and pieces, and we learn.
Wait, pause. I just realized she was having a prophetic dream this whole time.
Yeah.
Ew.
So we learn that
I don't want to prophesize my own death.
Yeah. We learn
Because I've had those types of dreams before. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Okay. So we learned that her mom died. The key word she uses is accidentally in this, but her mother took too many sleeping pills and OD'd. Her dad was sleeping in the living room on the couch, and when they found
my question is, what was going on in there? relationship for that to be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially because she locked the door.
No, he locked the door.
He locked the door?
Yeah.
He locked her in there?
No, he locked himself in the living room, like, because like if she locked the
No,
door,
he had to break down the door to get her out though. We saw that.
Yeah, but that's because she was up against the door.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know. I couldn't hear half the dialogue, so
She was up against the door when she died because she was trying to get through the door. If she could unlock the door, she would have just unlocked the door. Let's be real. But she couldn't get in, and he who knows if he didn't hear her or he was just ignoring her, trying to get in, trying to have a conversation, he assumed, or if he just slept through it. But basically, they found her fingernails in the door from her scratching so hard trying to get into the room, trying to be like, help me, and whatnot. So like the next morning he goes to open up the door from the living room, and he can't open up the door because her body's in the way, and so like he eventually gets the door open and she just flops out, basically. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how this house is set up.
I don't know.
With all these doors and shit.
I don't know. So, yeah. And then it cuts to Riley, just focus on Riley's face, who's asleep, and we see Mia's hands take his phone, because he's, like, watching YouTube videos, would, like, take his phone, turn it off, take his AirPods, and, like, put them away, and then, scratch his head, and then we see a different hand, with, like, missing fingernails, so you assume it's Mia's mother's hand, then also put his face. Here's the thing, this is a thing that happens later on where, like, a ghost will do something, but actually it's Mia doing it, and she just thinks it's a ghost. And so is it actually Mia doing it, or is it actually the ghost doing it? That's the question. Being like, I want him.
We love unreliable narrators.
So, Jade decides to throw a party, because she wants to see the hand thing happen. Jade is the only one in all of this who never does the hand.
I just realized that. What the fuck?
Same. But the guy who they just threw the party at the last time, when Mia did it, doesn't want them to do it at his house anymore, because, like, the window broke when the ghost smashed her against the wall and whatnot. Which, like, valid. So,
I'm sorry. If you don't want something to happen where something like that could obviously happen, maybe don't fucking do it?
I know, right?
Question mark?
So, Jade decides to throw the party at her house, and whatnot, so they all get together, like, a watch party. Riley is there, Riley's friend is there, Daniel is there, some other things. We learn, because, like, Jade's mother knows something is happening, and so she's, like, to Daniel, if anything happens, like, no alcohol, if there is alcohol, I'll do something, or whatever, and he's like, I don't drink, I'm Christian. Also, we learned that, she knows that Mia did drugs once, and Mia's like, I did weed one time, like, 2 years ago. That's it. Which is kind of important for later on. And also, she tells Mia that if any...
And hear me out, that's a normal thing to do once in your fucking life when you're a teenager. Apparently, I wouldn't know, personally, but...
and then she also tells Mia if there's any drugs or alcohol during this party that she knows is gonna actually happen, then Mia is kicked out of their house forever. And Mia's like, okay. And whatnot. So, yeah. So they set up everything, and Daniel's the first one of the group who does the hand. He starts asking questions of, like, where they got the hand, whatnot, and there's, like, 2 stories. One where it is the hand of a psychic that they, after he died, the people cut off his hand and embalmed it, or the hand of a Satanist, similar story. And also, like, there's a hint that, like, there's a second hand out there because, you know, generally people are born with 2 hands, so, like,
I like the idea that it's actually a psychic's hand, so
yeah.
It makes more sense in my brain, personally.
And then also, there is a, thing where, I mean, I didn't really notice it because, like, you know, whatever, but in Amanda the Jedi's video, she does mention how, because there's, like, writing all over the hand. I could just look up that.
Yeah. I could see some of it, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I could see some of it too, but, like, I didn't know what some of it said. Like, I did see some of it was, like, I let you in or something like that. Like, I did see a phrase like that on it, near, like, the, where the thumb and Pointer Finger are, right? Me.
Mm-hmm.
But some of it is in other languages.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I remember saying the word what and I can see you or like something like that
Yeah.
written in different spots.
Yeah. Uh, so basically, Daniel gets possessed. Another interesting thing is that we do not see ghosts during this. Uh,
We only see it when it's like
when Mia's
Mia's point
seeing,
of view because
yeah,
Mia's the quote unquote main character.
yeah.
So it like makes it worse somehow.
So like he's freaking out about seeing this ghost. He's like, oh my god. But like we, as the audience, aren't seeing the ghost, and it's a little interesting how they did that. Yeah. So he does it. Possessed Daniel tells Jade that she makes Daniel soft, and he hates it when she touches him. And then there's this very long, awkward scene where the ghost is moaning, and we are. Here's my quote. I literally was like typing this out, like the ghost moans, and we are so uncomfortable. And he knocks over the chair and makes out with the dog while thrusting the floor and moaning more.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what happens.
yeah. So then they take the hand away. Whatever.
I'm sorry, but this guy Daniel, he went through some shit.
Yeah. So also I also love the allegory that like if you bring in the allegory that it's actually drugs type thing, that the Christian.
Don't you love microdosing possession, Misty?
Yeah. The Christian good boy, quote unquote, who doesn't do any drugs or alcohol, is the first one to do it that night type thing. And whatnot. And it gets sexual only for him. Also that thing. But yeah, no, everyone recorded it and whatnot, and he gets very angry. So he storms out, and Jade goes after him. And
Listen, if you haven't watched this movie, I need you to know how like it was the dog's tongue was in dude's mouth. Like it was bad. Like like actually making out. Like it was bad. It was terrible. I wanted to leave.
Yeah. So
it takes a lot for me to want to leave. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, Mia decides to go be the next person to go, as long as like no recording and the dog's kicked out of the room. So basically,
yeah.
It's a compilation.
Poor dog.
It's a compilation of everyone doing it, including like the people who brought the hands, right? Except for Jade and Riley. Eventually, Riley really wants to do it, and Jade's like, no, and he's like, you're not my mom, and Mia's like, well, we could do it just for 60 seconds to be safe, and Jade's like, hell no. And then everyone calls Jade like boring or something, exactly what they were calling Mia earlier, and Jade was like whatever, but now Jade's the boring one because she won't do the hand, and Mia will, like, and she doesn't care if people call her friend that, but they do care if they call her that type thing.
Because she's a terrible friend.
Yeah. So she storms out, and eventually Riley gets Mia to agree to let him do it for 50 seconds. So they're like, okay, 50 seconds? And Haley, the person who's in charge, goes, hell yeah, let's do this, as they're like about to pack up everything, like they're in the process, and they're like, hell yeah, let's go, let's do this. This is very important, because later on, they say it's all Mia's fault. No, everyone fucking agreed, and they were very excited, okay?
But also, if you know that this situation is occurring, and then you, as the one who's in charge, aka the older sibling to your younger sibling, and you leave the fucking room knowing what's gonna fucking happen, you're responsible. Nobody fucking else.
Yeah.
You let it happen. You know what's gonna happen when you left that room, and you let it fucking happen.
Yeah. Also, I think Daniel leaves with Jade, but yeah. Basically, Riley, the person Riley's possessed by, is Mia's mother. There's a question if it's actually her mother because we don't see.
Hear me out.
But like,
I don't feel like it ever was. I really don't.
I feel like there's a possibility he was possessed by her mother, but I think that's where it ends. I think something else came in, and then all the other stuff happens, and it has nothing to do with Mia's mother, except that like the ghosts are pretending to be Mia's mother. That's it. Like, I don't think it actually has anything to do with Mia's mother after this exact moment. Like, after the 50 seconds, I don't think it has to do with her.
Probably.
But basically, she says Mia's nickname, says I love you, and stuff. And so Mia, I mean, I can imagine if you're in a similar situation, like, you don't want that person to go, right?
Personally, me, if I was in the situation, which I wouldn't be, thank you. Thank you. I'm stupid, but I'm not that fucking stupid. And if said spirit was pretending to be someone that I knew that died, I would exit. Like, I would not, like, I'm not that fucking stupid.
So she like holds Riley's hand to the hand, and whatnot, and won't let them take it off. And then all of a sudden, something else takes over, um, and basically starts whacking Riley's head on the table, um, and then tries to remove his eyeball. So like everyone's freaking out, trying to get him to stop. No one's thinking, let's try to remove the hand. And
Yeah.
so then it throws him across the room, and then he like starts whacking his head on this other stand table thing, and everyone's just standing there watching. And when Jade comes in, because like you can hear it happening, right, and runs in and sees it, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And so he's like about to whack his head again. Like this is like the 10th time he's like hard, full force hitting his head on the corner of this table. And so she comes in and is like, oh my god. And so in order to stop it, she puts her hand right there so that like he hits her hand against the table but doesn't hit his head again. And then in the moment of pause there, that's when they finally take the hand out of his hand. And then everyone calls the police, blah, 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 blah. Mia in panic is like leaving the room. And like she's like hearing nothing. Like you can kind of hear Haley and the other guy in the background like being like, okay, what do we do? Like, do we just leave? Because like, but also there's like technically we didn't do anything illegal type thing going on in the background that you can barely hear on my end. You probably didn't hear it at all.
I didn't. I mean, I could kind of not like I could hear like the voices, but I couldn't hear what they were saying.
Yeah. So Mia can't like it's very like not hearing anything. Everything's muffled, but then you just hear outside the side door or front door or whatever. Kind of looks like the shadow of like Mia's mom, and then scratching on a door.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So the police come, question everyone, right? And so Mia returns back to her dad's place for like the first time in who knows how long, and we learn that she stole the hand. She gets a
Yeah.
ride. She gets a ride chair back or to the hospital where Sue instantly blames Mia and says, uh, basically, you gave him drugs and that's what happened. What did you give him? Why did you do this? You're not our family. Get the fuck out. If you come again, I will call the police. Very much giving me instantly blaming the black kid for giving your child drugs. You know, that kind of vibe.
And like, hear me out. Be fucking normal.
Yeah, like literally, she wasn't the only one there. There were all these other people.
There's
there.
also strange kids that she has never met before in her house, but she immediately goes to blame Mia, the one she's basically been raising.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
For like drugging her son, drugging the promising white boy type aspect going on here. So kind of low key giving me questionable vibes. Also, I was like at that point, I was like, no, 98% chance they already did a drug test and it's already come back negative. So what the fuck are you doing? And later on, she literally says there were no drugs in his system. And I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So Mia's like freaking out, walking through the hospital, and she sees in the reflection of a like window into another hospital room, sees her mother, and so she follows it into the bathroom. I think it's the boys' bathroom. When she left it, I was like, that. I think it's the boys' bathroom.
I noticed that.
Where the bathroom, when the stall door slams closed, and then it starts shaking, and then there's like the scratching noise, and so Mia is like, mom, and starts trying to slam it open, and eventually it does, but there's nothing there, and she goes back in the hallway where Daniel is standing, and it's like, Mia, and she goes in the hallway and is like freaking out, having a panic attack, and so basically, so it cuts to him driving her home.
Hear me out. You like you said before, it might have been her mom that very first time, but after that, I don't think it was her mom at all.
I think it was another ghost pretending to be her mom, because like it's also mentioned at one point that like the longer you are possessed, the weaker they get. So like progressively, the ghost of her mother, quote unquote, is becoming like looking more and more like the drowned ghost, like the way that the face is shaped, how it gets all bubbles with water, also the dripping eyes, the eye color, like the hands. Also,
yeah,
like
you saying that though, the longer they're possessed, the weaker it gets, which leads me like, that I felt the whole time. Mia was never not possessed.
Yeah, no, I think from, like, the first time she did the hand, she's been possessed. 100%. And this
And
whole
that
time,
probably happens to, like, a lot of people, actually, because it's not, like, something you can just control.
And so, like, I think the drowned ghost noticed her weakness for her mother and started using that as, like, trying to torment her and get her on its side and whatnot. I think that's what was happening. But
Yes,
basically,
and if you think about the lore of spirits and ghosts, people who are weaker of the mind, more susceptible to things like possession and stuff, do get latched on to more easily, and it would make sense that Mia would be possessed the whole time because she does have a weakened,
mental state.
yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Uh, so yeah, he drives her home, and she gets him to stay over. At one point, she does show him that she has the hand, and she's like, "We could do it again. We could try. We can test it. It's actually my mom." And he's like, "I'm not doing that ever again." And she's like, "Okay, whatever." So they
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
so there's
Not the fucking giggle, bestie.
yeah. So basically the way that they're sleeping, so we see Mia like watching videos of her mom on her phone, right? And then they're laying side by side, but like his feet is up, like there's
Listen,
parallel
the moment
each other
I
in front.
saw that, I knew what was gonna happen.
I know, right? Like, why would it focus so much on his legs next to her head? Like, please. Basically, she has a nightmare where she's like kissing Daniel, and then she sees over his shoulder her mother's death. And then she wakes up and she sees some random ghost in the corner of her bedroom, uh, moaning, and then comes out. I literally
That scared me.
so
That
back
was
to back
so.
between
Ugh.
her face and the corner. I was like, what the hell is happening? And then all of a sudden the ghost crawls out.
You
I was
just
like,
see
oh
limbs.
no,
Yeah.
oh no, 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 no.
It was just so dark, and then you just see limbs that were just not correct. Yeah.
Yep. So the ghost comes out, claws up the bed, sits next to Mia, and just starts sucking Daniel's toes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you
Also,
don't
the woman
clip
was
this
singing.
shit, I'm gonna kill you.
That was another thing. There was like hum singing, and so like it was kind of back and forth between Mia's face in the corner as like this woman is humming, but you don't know there's a woman there, and then all of a sudden you just see limbs, and then you're like, what the heck? And she sucks on Daniel's toes. And then Daniel wakes up, and it's Mia sucking his toes.
But did you notice that her eyes were like all widened out?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kind of like the drowned ghost. Yeah. So he pushes her away. He freaks out, and he's like, "You're the one who was sucking my toes. Good God!" And runs out. He's like in his boxers, and he's like runs out. Also, why would you sleep in the same bed as your girlfriend's best friend in a friendly way, quote unquote, but in your boxers, no pants? Like, please, I do not fucking care. Wear some goddamn pants. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. Thank you very much. That's
Real.
weird. Also, there was like, at some point, Jade goes out to find her mom smoking in the car, and Jade goes to...
Pause. Speaking of the pants thing, it's obvious that Daniel and Mia still liked each other. Obviously. And then the whole thing with the ghost saying that
Yeah.
Jade made Daniel stop. Like, I have to giggle.
Yeah.
Like, can Jade take a fucking hint?
Yeah. So, basically, Jade's in the car with her mom, and outside the hospital, just like, and taking a breather, where Sue is smoking a cigarette, and Jade goes to, like, hold her hand with, like, her fucked up hand. Like, clearly, Jade tried. Like, obviously, she has a fucked up hand from proving, like, she tried to help him. Not 100%, but, like, she did something. And her mother just pushes her away, is like, no. So yeah, we love a loving parent. So after Daniel runs away, Mia is slapping herself in the face and hitting the walls and doors. Where's her dad when this is happening? We do not know. Mia...
You might as well not even fucking exist, so.
I know, right? Mia uses the hand on her own. Yeah. And in it, she sees her mother's ghost. Is it actually her mother's ghost? No, I do not believe so because as this is happening, you also hear water trickling, which is very
Uh-huh.
important. But
And here's the thing. Every time that you encounter something that has to do with like spirits and ghosts, etc., a Ouija board, for example, one of the biggest rules is to not do it by your fucking self.
I know, right? I love how
Don't be a fucking idiot. AKA, don't fuck with this shit in the first place. Is this the moment where I say I do believe in spirits and ghosts and demons or whatever the fuck? Okay. I've seen some things. I've encountered some things. And like the world is weird. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did have some fucked up shit like demons and ghosts going on too, you know?
I mute
Thank you.
myself the whole time on the call, or not the call, in the recording. Let's hope it works okay because my phone was ringing. I don't know who was calling. I didn't get up and check.
Nobody important.
I was like, it's a Saturday at 1 p.m. Who's calling? Actually, it may have been my grandmother. I should have checked. I didn't check because I was like,
It'll be fine. You can call her back if it was.
Oh, I think it actually is her because they're calling again. I'll be back.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Hello, I am back.
Hi.
Apparently the town bar thing is having a dinner thing tonight, and she was asking if I wanted to go with them. And I was like, cause technically my mother's also a member, so like I can go. And I was like, nah, it's fine. I have like stuff I can eat here. And she's like, okay, I'll drop off Ivy then. Around 4, so in like 3 hours I get an Ivy dog again.
That's okay, I want an Ivy dog.
And then hilariously, she did invite me up for shrimp curry tomorrow night. So I don't know what drugs Pearl's on, but I am getting shrimp curry this weekend. It's just tomorrow.
Maybe she's just having prophetic death dreams as well.
I know, right? It's all the weed plus the hurricane. I forgot they had a hurricane up there this weekend. Right now. But yeah, so I get shrimp curry, which I'm very excited because my grandmother's shrimp curry is much better than mine. So, you know.
I've never had anything even curry adjacent.
I almost made Indian curry the other night, but like...
I want to try Indian food, but where the fuck do you try Indian food in Texas?
I don't know where you can get it from in Vermont. I just make it myself.
I imagine if I looked hard enough, I could probably find it.
Yeah.
Around close, semi-close to me. I don't know.
The issue is like getting some of the spices and whatnot is difficult for me. So like I didn't have some of the right spices I wanted to use for the butter chicken, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I don't think my mother would want to try it if we did have a place. We might. I just might not know about it. But I don't feel like my mom would try it. So alas.
Okay, so we were talking about ghost stuff. Alright, so Mia is talking to her mom's ghost. Is it actually Mia's mother? I do not believe so.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah, so the first thing she says is, I love you, and her mom says, I love you back. And then the first thing she asks is, did you kill yourself? Which really just says what's been on her mind for the past 2 years. And her mom says, no, it was an accident. I would never choose to leave you, my baby, all this stuff. And then, basically, it switches from the sweet mother tone to her monotone saying, Riley needs help, as this water trickling sound is happening, and also it fades out from that to Sue and Jade basically bathing Riley in the hospital, and the water trickling fading into like the water from the sponge and whatnot.
That was so good. I knew something like that was gonna happen. It was so good. I was like, oh my god.
So basically, who knows where Jade and Riley's father is, but he basically calls up the mom, and she's like, God damn it, why the hell is he calling? So she steps out, and she's like, stay with him, to Jade. So Jade moves to like his friend, and is like, Riley, wake up, talk to me, and he like starts making this gurgling sound, kind of similar to what happens when you get possessed, when you do the hand, and so her hand's like on one of his shoulders, her fucked up hand, from doing, like, blocking his head and whatnot. Also, I would like everyone to know his face is fucked up. And so...
Whoever did the makeup for this movie, amazing job.
Yeah. So, basically, he's still possessed, bites her hand, like I think actually possibly took a chunk out, and so she's like basically freaks out, like instantly pushes him away and backs up, and so the chair that he's in like falls over, and then he is laying on the ground and like evil laughing while whacking the back of his head as hard as possible against the tile on the back on like the shower wall type thing going on, like whacking it as hard as possible, like it's literally like cracking, breaking off. He's gushing blood.
Yeah.
She's yelling for her mother. And after like right before the mother comes in, he's like licking up the blood, and whatnot. And then the mother comes in, and as well as the nurse, and they're like freaking out, trying to like calm him down and whatnot. But he's like, it looks like
Also,
he's having,
props because the blood actually looks real.
yeah, it looks like he's like having a seizure or something. And they're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah. Um, so they
I
learn.
imagine with all the brain damage he's received, yeah, he's probably having a fucking seizure.
Yeah, right. So they're. I don't remember how they learned this. Oh, they meet up with Haley and the other guy, who like originally owned the hand, and are like, hey, what's gonna happen to him? And one of them brings up the idea that like the ghosts are trying to kill Riley because if you die with while possessed, uh, they get your soul, right? So like everyone's at this meeting. Daniel's also there, and Mia's like, "Has anyone else just been seeing things while not using the hand?" And everyone's like, no." And she's like, "Well, I saw a ghost stuck in Daniel's toes when he was sleeping in my bed with me."
Oh god.
Jade instantly is like, "I'm sorry, what?" And Daniel's like, "I kind of saw something, but it was Mia stuck in my toes, no ghost," and all this stuff. I think the phrase he uses is "sucked my foot."
Yeah.
And then
I wanna die.
Haley's friend, they never really say his name, so I don't know his name. Who basically owns the hand.
Hold on, do you want me to see? I'll Google.
Okay.
Continue speaking.
So basically, we learn that the person he got the hand from could also see the ghost.
His name is Joss.
Okay. Joss got the hand from a friend who started being able to see the ghost after, like, without having to use the hand, and so like he was like, I don't want the hand anymore, and gave it to Joss. I was like, here, you have it. And his name was Duckett. You know, the guy from the intro. The guy from the intro.
Yes.
This is also where we learned that the guy he stabs, who helps him out, is actually his brother. And basically they're like, yeah, he ended up going crazy and stabbed his brother, and then who stabbed himself in the face and died. So they track down the brother at like a bus station. And he's like, no, I'm not helping you because you let my brother use that fucking thing and it killed him. Very much like an allegory for like some kind of heavy drug, right? And like freaks out at Joss and Haley for like continuing to use the hand as with other people and all this stuff.
Very valid feelings.
Yeah. And so they follow him on the bus, and Mia's like, listen, I get it, how difficult it is when you suddenly lose someone like that. Like, I get it. And he's like, listen, the longer you're possessed, the weaker the ghost becomes, so, like, you just gotta wait it out, and whatnot. And this is, where, like, everyone just gets off the bus and whatnot, because, like, they're like, well, also, like, at the rate it's going, he's gonna die before then, because, like, if he continues to wake up and then bash his head in, like, he's just gonna die eventually, right? And so he's like, well, there's nothing you do, maybe you should stop using the goddamn hand. And so they all leave the bus, and they're all, like, standing around, and Mia's like, hey, oh, this is when everyone throws Mia under the bus and blames her for Riley. Like, Haley's like,
as if they didn't bring this. Oh my god, I can't.
They were the one to bring it, and whatnot. Like, yes, Mia's the one that initially agreed to let him do it for the 50 seconds and kept his hand there. But also, they were all there too. They could have stopped at any moment and let it continue.
They all encouraged it, and they all let it happen, and they all were excited about it happening.
In the first place, yes.
And they were like, excited. They were enthusiastic.
But they were like, they're all like, Mia, you're the one who did this. It's all your fault. And Mia's like, hey, I'm worried that we didn't blow out the candle afterwards, and whatnot. like you're supposed to do, and that's why he's super duper possessed. I do think this may be a thing. I don't know. Um,
It
because
does play a part because the whole thing with the Ouija board, because that's
yeah,
obviously adjacent to this, is if you don't say goodbye, they stick around.
yeah.
So,
No, I think like the
like,
thing.
that's the second biggest rule besides don't play by your fucking self.
I think that's also why Riley's super duper possessed right now. Because like he should like the ghost should be getting weaker or whatnot via the rules, but it's not. So I think it's able to like go back and forth. So like whenever he's asleep, it's back in its homeland, whatever that is, and whatnot, and able to just get back in.
Hell? Question mark? From
Maybe.
the looks of it.
And that's
From
why the
what Mia saw, I would say it's hell.
yeah. And so the door is just left open. And whatnot. And so, cause
Just
like,
strolling on in.
because like we do see aftermath, and like Riley looks fine. So like I think this does have something to do with it. So basically, they make a plan. Haley just and Joss just give.
Full stop. We do see him afterwards, but you cannot tell me that bitch did not have brain damage.
I know, right? Like the way that he was
A
completely
severe
fine.
concussion, at least. Hello.
He should have a few scars. Like I'm surprised if he's able to see completely fine through that eye. Like you know, but basically, Joss and Haley give her the hand, and basically they're out of the movie for the rest of the movie. So Mia, has Daniel and Jade help her out. They go to the hospital room. Hear me out. I don't know having an open flame at a hospital, and he's also on oxygen. Hear me out, no.
Yeah.
Um, but basically what they do is like they hold his hand on the hand, and then uh basically uh Riley's the one holding it and says talk to him, and like does it for him and whatnot, and then Daniel blows up the candle. And they do it twice. I do think it worked. I just don't think it was an obvious thing that would have worked. And that's why he ends up being fine in the end. So Mia's like, well, maybe there's something else we can do. Maybe I can talk to his ghost. Maybe like his soul is disconnected from his body because the ghost is in there, and I can find him. Uh, so she uses the hand, and instead she finds this little girl sitting on his bed.
And,
Uh,
like, of course it's a little girl. Like,
yeah. And so she's like, hey, do you see him anywhere? Can I like find him? Can you tell me where he is? And she's like, I can show you. And then the girl says, I let you in. The ghost is the one who says it. And so basically, uh, she sees basically Riley being tortured by all these ghosts in a assumed hell and all this stuff. And so then she freaks out, falls on the ground, lets go of the hand. Jade and Daniel try to like help her, and she's screaming like, "Don't touch me!" And like kicks the hand like super far away. Like it was definitely like, I was like, does she have super strength? Like what the hell? And whatnot. Uh, so then it cuts to like during the like seeing Riley's soul be tortured. She, which like may not actually be real. She may just be seeing it. She was hearing screaming, and she like during all this she's hearing screaming, and then it cuts to her returning to her house, and she's still hearing the screaming when her dad's like, "Hey, can you sit down? I want to talk to you." And there's like been vibes that like her dad's been keeping a secret about her mother, and whatnot.
yes.
And so he sits her down and starts reading her mother's suicide note.
I don't think that's the way to go about that, personally.
Yeah, and she's all like, but she told me she didn't do it, all this stuff, and then she's like, she's like clearly panicking, and she's like, I gotta go, I need a minute. So she goes to the bathroom. I think it's or is it her bedroom, one of the two.
Her room.
Her room, because she like sees her mom's ghost, and she starts talking to her mom's ghost, and she's like, is it real? And she's like, no, it's not real. I would never hurt myself. It's him. They have him. They are pretending to be your father. He's going to hurt you. All this stuff. And there's like banging on the door super hard and like yelling, all this stuff. But like also like all this chaos is happening, and then it cuts to him just completely calmly sitting on the couch, like going through her bag and whatnot. And like like completely normal. And then it cuts back to her screaming, like it sounded like him slamming on the door. So clearly it's not actually him. It's like the ghost making her think that's him. Um, so basically, fake ghost, her dad runs in, chokes her. So she's like freaking out.
And you can clearly see that it's not actually him.
Yeah. Real dad comes in, like slams through the door, breaks the door down because he like hears something going on. He's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Slamming the door open, like thinks she's choking or something. I don't know. And sees like she's choking out the rat, so he goes to help her. As he goes to help her, she reaches for these scissors that are on the ground and goes to stab fake dad. But as she does it, real dad is there to like help her, be like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And ends up stabbing her real dad right in the neck. And he starts gushing blood. Um, the way I wrote down ghost mommy.
Why would you do that?
Fun fact, he's not actually dead. So yeah, she calls.
Did he get stabbed in the fucking jugular with scissors? How did he not
I
fucking
don't think
die?
it was in the jugular. I think it was like between the shoulder blade and the neck. And I think, like this is a thing in Hannibal. Cough cough. That also happens in Hannibal. So I think if he left the scissors there, which like we do see him later on with the scissors still in, and like he's holding towels to it and whatnot, I think by
like 2 inches to the left, he would have been gone.
Yeah, but I think by keeping the scissors in there and holding the wound, he survives long enough to like get help. But basically she calls up Jade and she's like, "Jade, I need your help at the house." And so Jade rushes to Riley's house, or not Riley, Mia's house. Meanwhile, we see Mia actually sitting in the parking lot watching Jade leave so that she can go to Riley's hotel room. At which point we see her having the same scissors in her back pocket. But then Soup enters the hospital room, and sits down and is like, "I haven't seen you visiting in a while." And Mia's
I wonder why, you bitch.
And Mia's like, "You threatened to call the police if I came back?" She did come back. Sue wasn't there when that happened. And Sue's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. There was no drugs in the system. I just played you. You're like his family and all this stuff. You know." So
even if there was drugs in his system, she didn't do it.
Yeah. It's really funny because she's like, "I'm sorry," and then like lets her have a moment with Riley, and later on, Jade calls her mom to be like, "Hey, Mia's dangerous," and she instantly is just like, "Oh, of course it's Mia." Oh, I do not like this mom. I thought she was a cool mom at first, but no. So
I hated her the whole time, and you said you liked her. I was like, "Sure, bestie, sure."
Yeah.
And then everything else occurred, and I was like, I was right.
Mia's like, "Can I have a moment with him?" And she's like, "Yes." So she leaves the room. Meanwhile, Mia talks to him, but like also like it looks like an old burnt man is the one who she's talking to. And he's like, "We have him, ha ha ha. There's nothing you can do. We have him." And she's like, "There's something I can do." And she pulls out the scissors to go to stab him. Because I think the rule is like if you kill yourself, you are theirs, but if you don't, if you just die or whatever, then you're not theirs or something. I don't know. It's not explained. So it's just that if you die, you're there, so maybe it's just like die no matter what, who knows. But she goes to stab him, still has her father's blood all over it, so no, he doesn't have the scissors in his neck, he's just holding his neck together. So she goes to stab him, but she can't do it, so she puts the scissors back in his pocket. At this point, Jade has entered the house, because she's like, "Where the hell is Mia?" She said to come, and so she enters the house, finds Mia's dad alive, calls up her mother, and is like, "Oh my god, Mia's dangerous," and so then Sue goes running, gets back to the hospital room, and neither one of them are there. So Jade, drives back to the hospital and sees Mia pushing, Riley in a wheelchair up this street, so chase after them, and, why did Word auto correct that? Dad to dead. So it said her dead dying. Not her dad dying. That was so funny. Yeah, basically, Mia's standing at the top of this hill with Riley in a wheelchair, and at the bottom of the hill is this really busy road, right? So Jay's like trying to stop her coming running, and whatnot, and all this stuff, and she's like not really hearing anything, whatnot. Contemplates like pushing him over into the traffic, but then like her mother's hand appears over her shoulder, but it definitely looks bloated, more like the drowned woman's hand. And says that she's proud of her, and like if you just do it, then she can protect him and all this stuff. Very clearly trying to make her kill him so that they can make him. There's as well, like I think kind of like Duckett, where like if he had actually killed his brother, then his brother's soul would have also been theirs and whatnot, type thing. Or maybe the way that they make you theirs is you have to at least attempt to kill someone as well or something, right? Uh, and then it cuts to inside a car that's just driving along, and then like the car in front of them swerves, and there's honking, and like something hits their windshield, and they like swerve, and their airbags come out, and everyone's freaking out, and you just see Mia on the road, and then she stands up, and she's like completely fine, but no, she's actually cough a ghost. We do see over her shoulder, kind of foggy, Jade holding Riley on the bottom of the hill, just being like, it's okay, and whatnot. So basically, she says that she doesn't realize she's a ghost.
Assumably, Jade pushed Mia into the road, correct?
I don't know. She may have just thrown herself into the road. I don't know. It's never explained. We don't see it happen. So, like...
I feel like Jade would have pushed that bitch. Yeah. Jade would have been like, fuck you.
Yeah. So Mia goes...
And just never told anybody that she pushed her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Mia goes to the hospital, but, like, it's clear some time has passed, because, like, Riley seems fine now, and, like, he's going home. Her father is, like, walking down the hallway, but not, like, listening to her, and so I initially thought maybe it was her father's ghost, but I think he actually survived, and he was returning home from the hospital himself. I think that's what it was. Imagine being him. Imagine your wife committing suicide, and then you tell your daughter the truth, and she tries to stab you to death, and then she jumps into traffic. Like, hello? Also, I forgot to bring it up, but when she went to stab Riley and then didn't do it, she saw the injured kangaroo from before in the hospital.
Yeah.
Kind of like she's supposed to put Riley out of his misery, like she should have done for the kangaroo type thing. So yeah, she's basically walking through the hallway, but like everything's turning black, and then she turns around to this mirror, but she doesn't have a reflection. Cough, cough, her worst fear. And whatnot. So then she like goes running after her dad, but then everything goes black, and then all of a sudden you hear a spark, and there's like this light, and so she goes towards the light, and then you see like the profile of her face through this flame, basically, and so she sees this hand reaching over this flame, so she grabs onto it, and then there's a bunch of people. She's holding the hand of this guy. She can suddenly see everything around her. She's in a new location, so people she's never seen before. She's holding this hand of this guy, and the guy next to him is talking to him in another language, and then he says in all English, "I let you in." Basically saying she's in the hand now. Also saying like there's another hand. It's another location. It's abroad somewheres, and basically
leaving it open to where there could potentially be a sequel.
Yeah.
Right?
There's another hand.
I would love it, honestly. I would eat that shit up either way.
Yeah, and so she's become one with the hand, basically. It intrigues me because, like, I wonder if there's, like, a possibility that we'll see Duckett's ghost in the hand if there's a sequel.
Oh, you think the sequel could be from the other side?
Yeah. Maybe we'll see Duckett, or, like, maybe it'll continue from Mia's point of view, or maybe, we'll see Mia just constantly go through the process of like complete darkness, then all of a sudden light, and having to like possess someone. Like no way around it. You have to possess the person and all this stuff. And
I like the idea of it maybe cutting back and forth between that and the people doing it, and then something really, really, really bad happens, like worse than what happened to Riley and stuff, to where the hand gets destroyed eventually at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That's what I would enjoy to see.
I'd also like if she possesses someone, she tries to get a message out to Jade or something, and whatnot. And yeah, that's the movie. That's how it ends. It ends with her like him saying, "I let you in," and then you go, "Oh shit, she's the ghost now."
Yeah. And respectfully, who just ends a movie like that? Who just does this whole movie? Like who just creates something like this?
Anyways, it was great.
Obviously. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no, it was good. I can pick a movie, apparently. It was so good.
Yes.
I did not go too long explaining this. I would like you to know. We're just over an
hour. We did
hour.
really good.
And, like,
I'm so proud of us.
The first 30 minutes was us talking nonsense, so, like...
You can cut most of it out. This will be a reasonably timed episode.
No.
Cut the shit out, bestie.
No.
It's fine.
No, we need to know. The people need to know
No, they don't.
random things about co-stars, about how we are compatible.
Well, you can cut out the stuff about us talking about the fucking schedule.
Ah, that thing. I do have to say that the next episodes are, the next two episodes, after this one are The Last Tale of Fire Bride and Cursed Bread. I think that's how I'll do it for October. I'll just say what the next two episodes are, right? Because there's also like the issue that there's so many episodes, and like I would try to post the calendar on the YouTube, but I tried to post like the September calendar on the YouTube as like as a community post thing, and it wouldn't let me. It would
I
let
think
me.
it's just a you problem because when I post pictures on the community tab, it works just fine for me
I've never tried
on
to
my
post a
channel.
photo on the community tab before, on my channel or the podcast, but I tried to do it on the podcast and it wouldn't let me. But it would let me do like a test one, of just text. So I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna move on my life and cry. Maybe I'll talk Sabrina
Valid.
into posting it on the Instagram. So if you want to see the schedule, that can be a monthly thing. But
We can do it at the beginning of the month.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I do have a beautiful calendar that I made. I have multiple versions of the calendar I've made. Let's be real. I'm me. I have it on my iPad, but I also have it on my computer on two different programs.
You are normal.
Yes. Final thoughts about the movie.
Amazing. 10 out of 10. I love it. I don't know who made it, but I love you.
I want to learn more about them because I know they are YouTubers who are brothers.
Us making a movie win. Just kidding.
Never.
Listen,
Danny,
you got some weird thoughts in your brain. So do I. We can
bro.
make a good weird ass movie.
Danny and Michael Filippo. I can't pronounce their last name. The budget was 4.5 million and the box office was 67 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
They did the thing for real.
Okay, they are Australian. I was wondering if they are Australian. Oh, they're twins? Uh, they are known for live action horror comedy.
Fun. I would say this is just horror, no comedy.
Okay, yeah, it did premiere at the 2023 Sundance Film Festival. I thought so. And then in July, the end of July is when it internationally released, like, everywhere. I want to find their YouTube channel. Where's their... The Raka Raka is the YouTube channel.
Sorry, what?
Not the first YouTube video just playing. The Raka Raka. Also, I want you to know their banner on YouTube is just the Talk to Me poster. Have you seen the poster?
No, I don't think so.
It's just the hand like reaching out. That's it.
Oh.
In complete blackness. And then the
Ew,
words
I love
talk
that.
to me. Yeah, it's really weird. Here, I'll just send you the link to their channel and then you can see it.
You know, they're so real. They know what's up.
Not you saying hello, eyes, hi. What the hell?
That's what you sounded like when you answered the phone.
Oh, well, let's talk to my grandmother. And also,
I thought it was sweet. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, you thought we were gonna make it through this episode without a sleep token mention, but no, we're not. That's so vessel coated right there, that hand. That's, oh my god. That was my first thought. I was like, I saw the hair and I was like, vessel. 6.79 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
They do have their most recent videos are we made a horror film and we released our horror film worldwide. I want to see, like, does the actual video have like stuff about? Oh, it does look like it does because like it looks like someone being hit by a car in one of the clips that like autoplays when you hover over the video, right? So that'd be, I'm gonna add that to my watch later because that seems like an interesting thing to watch. But yeah, this is like their directorial debut for like a feature film.
And it's fucking good. Like,
Yeah. Like, they've spent, like, as far as I can tell, like, 9 years making short little horror things on YouTube, but this is, like, their first feature.
well, obviously those 9 years really paid the fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a win, for real.
Never. I would suck at making a horror movie.
No, I just mean, like, what, we gotta do the podcast for 9 years and suddenly it pops off and then we're good? We get a redacted sponsorship, we good?
Also, if you just, like, want to see my dog, there is a photo. We didn't talk about it in the Heartstopper episode, but there is a photo of my dog on the podcast Instagram, which is in the link tree. I know it's in mine. I don't know if it's in yours. I know it's in my link tree.
It's not.
It's in mine. Don't worry, fam.
I never update my fucking link tree, Bestie, be serious.
I update mine on a regular basis for some psycho reasons. Because I continuously do more and more things, so I gotta continuously add more and more things.
Because you're insane.
Yeah, I know. So, you don't have to tell me
Also,
twice.
listen, if you don't clip shit about us talking about Daniel getting his toes sucked, I'm gonna fight you.
I mean, you could clip it on your own.
Fuck you, no.
I clipped so many things and you lost half of them, okay?
Listen, I still have like 1 or 2 more to edit, and I've already edited all the other ones I found, so I'll actually save this one, don't worry.
Okay, so final thoughts on this movie other than it's great.
It's amazing.
Thank you. Is that it?
I will watch it again. I feel like I could see myself watching this over and over again, for real.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good movie that if you just, like, sit down and watch it one night, you'd really like it, because then you can, like, actually hear the sound effects in the background.
Yes. I feel like it could become a comfort movie, for real.
I could see that for you, yeah. It is a really good fall movie. It just has the gross, wet vibes, you know? It has a little bit of a wet vibe. I feel like...
And with a hint of mold, yes. Which is amazing.
I feel like there was a scene where it was raining, but I don't remember if it was actually a thing.
Yeah.
Or if it just gives me, like, raining.
I think it was because, like, the light from the outside was coming in, and it was, like, the shadows from the rain were reflecting on Mia's face. You see what I'm saying?
It just gives me, like, raining on, like, end of spring, beginning of autumn type vibes. You know?
But also there's mold somewhere.
Yes. Also, I would like you know, the way I was sitting, the top of my foot was against my chair, and so now I have imprinted on my foot the pattern of my chair, and it looks weird.
You know, I probably have a sequin imprinted on me because I have these, like, house shoes in my closet, but they're, like, giant elf shoes with sequins and stuff. There used to be bells on them, but I took them off. I don't wear them.
Okay.
Did you just send me a picture of your fucking foot?
Yes.
Why the fuck would you send me a picture of your feet?
So that you can see what I'm talking about. That one person who
okay,
asked,
lizard person.
I know, right? That's what I thought too.
I need everyone to know that it was just the top of her foot, not her toes. If it was her toes, I would have done something so drastic.
I would not force you to see my toes. They are fucked up.
I've seen your toes before, bitch, because you just let your dogs out anywhere and everywhere.
I don't like socks. So I just walk around the house barefoot. I don't wear
socks either, but at least when I don't wear socks and there's a picture of probably my actual animal, my dog, I cover my feet, or I make sure my feet aren't in the fucking picture, but you're just like, here's my dog and my dogs, like...
I'm not paying attention to my feet when I take the photo. I'm paying attention to my dog.
You trying to tell me you're not hyper aware of your feet in the internet?
No.
Wow. Can't relate.
Though I did have a guy DM me once for pictures of my feet. Remember that time?
The way... Listen, I get weird DMs, but I don't get weird DMs like that, so...
I get weird DMs. I think it's because I give sometimes straight people vibes. I don't know how, but...
You live in fucking Vermont in the woods, and you're like, hee hee hee, and you read romance.
And I still don't have a lesbian lumberjack.
That sounds like a personal problem. Do something about it. I don't know.
I gotta go to Home
They
Depot.
exist.
Home Depot's so far away though. You know the one lesbian lumberjack that you sometimes send me videos of, but I
Yes.
watch her all the time? Yeah, so I saw one where she found at like a thrift store or something, messed up axe.
Yeah, I already watched that.
So she like repaired it, and I was just watching that for like 3 minutes yesterday, just on repeat. You know, like a normal sane person. I do sometimes watch.
I watched it. I thought about sending it to you, but I figured you'd already saw it.
I watched it for the first time yesterday, but I do watch sometimes. Like,
We both watched it yesterday.
that's so us. I do like watch videos where like knife repairing and whatnot on YouTube occasionally. So like,
Me too. Why are we?
we're so weird. So like,
They're very satisfying. I like the ones where they don't speak and they just do the thing,
yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
And it's like low-key ASMR.
And I like don't fully understand what's happening, but I'm like.
Have you ever watched shoe repairing videos?
I think I've seen one or two.
They're nice too. We're so normal.
But yeah, it gave me similar vibes about lesbian lumberjack version. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna end off this episode.
Okay.
Goodbye.